Hey y'all, it's Michael, and this is my Friday read. This is the books that I plan to read over the weekend. First off, the TV show I want to talk about before that I'm going to try to watch over the weekend is Westworld. Oh my god! So I just recently started this show, and going into it, I haven't even watched the original movie at all, and so it's good. It's so good. It's beautifully shot. It's intriguing. It's done so well. Like this is like a trend that I'm finding that I'm really enjoy doing is since recently for the past few weeks actually, I've been listening to podcasts like non-stop. Like all I listen to is podcasts. And what I really enjoy is doing listening to those recap podcasts where they like give theories after you watch an episode type of thing. It's so good, and I found some great podcasts like recapping Game of Thrones, and I found one with Westworld. It's so good. I am loving it. If you watch the show, please let me know. I think season 2 is about to start soon, so that would be really great. But love that. I'm loving it so far. I am on episode 5, so I'm almost halfway through the season. All right, so let's talk about the books that I am planning to read. So I just did my booktubeathon vlog, so if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I worked really hard on it. It has a whole bunch of edits, like a lot of edits. Especially those little bubbles that pop out of nowhere. Those take a really long time. Like even though it's just 15 seconds of a clip, I literally spend like 30 minutes on one of those clips. It's a really long, especially since objects are moving. It's like an advanced form of editing. It's called keyframing. It just takes a really long time because you're going through each frame. Think about it. There's 30. Well, in that clip, there's 60 frames a second. You're going through 60 frames per second. It's a really long time, but I love doing it. So I think from now on I'm going to maybe do my vlogs in that way because I find that I'm really liking it. So one book that I did carry over from the booktubeathon because I'm still continuously reading it is my nonfiction, and that's Far from the Tree by Andrew Solomon. I dropped my bookmark. I'm on the autism chapter. It's like roughly around there, but it's going great, slowly but surely. I find that with this heavy, like there's so much knowledge and so much info. I'm reading like roughly about 50 pages a day ish. So yeah, for my manga wise, I will do a full-on review. It's coming for the Ancient Magus' Bride because I really want to talk about that manga because I really enjoyed it. So the manga that I'm reading right now is My Hero Academia by Kohai Horikoshi. Um, Here's the thing with My Hero Academia. This is like the anime right now. Like everybody and their mom is watching this anime. So I was like, sure, why not? I started it. So I watched the anime up to episode 6 and I didn't get it. In the sense that I don't understand why people love it so much because it was just so basic. Oh my god, the anime people are gonna come at me, but it was just so basic. It was just like, it's drawn beautifully. It's drawn beautifully. Two of my cousins really love it, and they were like, they're so into it. So I was just like, I'm gonna give it another shot. So I'm gonna watch the anime, but I'm also gonna read the manga, and I'm finding out that the manga is a little bit better than the anime in some regards. The anime conveys the action really well, but the manga is drawn really well also. The way that the panels move, and what I'm finding out that I really enjoy about the manga is that the art style is really great because it mimics a superhero comic, which is great. And the way that Horikoshi-san does like the shading, his characters are drawn with a lot of like hard lines and a lot of shadows. It gives this like really impactful way on reading the manga, and I'm really loving the art style. And I'm finding that that Midoriya is not as annoying he's whiny in the anime, okay? He's really whiny, and I'm finding that here he's not as much, which is good. But I'm only on chapter 2, but I'm finding that I'm really liking the manga, so I'm glad that I'm giving it another try because I'm really liking the manga. So yeah. So I'm caught up with my short stories, and I finished the Murakami one, and now I'm reading At the Mouth of the River of Bees by Kij Johnson. Um, I'm how many stories? I'm on page like 24. So like that's the vibe that I'm getting from it. I'm not gonna give like a full, concise, like definite thoughts on the stories, but right now a lot of the stories are just. Mm, If you don't know, I take notes on all the books that I read. Like, I have different notebooks on which like this is my short story notebook, and right now there is only I haven't started because that's how I can tell if I'm really liking like a short story. Like I have little ways I mark stuff on my in my notebooks, and usually if I really like a story, I mark it with a star because it tells me that like I really loved it. And right now, there is no stars, and it's one, two, three, four, five short stories. So there is that. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. So in full book terms, right now I am currently reading Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. I am almost hitting the halfway point. I am going to finish this weekend. I just started yesterday, and it reads incredibly fast. I did not expect that because going into this, I didn't know about it. I just knew people like were praising it, and then like a spew of people were saying that the audiobook was much better, or like listen to the audiobook. But I wanted to read the book because since it's listed for the long list for the Man Booker Prize, I was like, yeah, sure, okay. Um, mm. I have read George Saunders' 10th of December, like his short story collection. I'll link the video if you want to hear my thoughts about it. But I was lukewarm on it. Like I wasn't hyped up as everybody seemed to be. The thing though I can say for sure is that Saunders knows how to write. Like he knows how to write. Like he has a grasp of writing in general. I don't know how I feel about this because I'll I'll give you my final thoughts once I finish the book. Um, so there's that. So I wanted to give some possibilities on other books that I want to read just in case I finish this. Like, because I feel like I'm gonna finish this tonight. The God of Small Things by Arodati Roy, and I just want to read this because this won the Man Booker, and I have my personal copy of this. I found this like in a thrift store, and it was really inexpensive. Of the Man Booker books that I have read, I enjoyed a lot of them, and so I wanted to read this, and I just wanted to see her like writing style before I read her other novel. Let me know what you're reading over the weekend, or if you're reading any of these books, let me know. Until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye.